Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. Celine Song, the critically acclaimed filmmaker behind the deeply poetic and emotionally stirring Past Lives, returns with a dramatically different yet equally provocative cinematic experience. If Past Lives was a soft, yearning whisper from the heart, then Materialists is a high-speed philosophical monologue, witty, sharp, romantic, and unexpectedly jarring. In this latest offering, Song trades subtle introspection for sharp-edged conversations, turning New York City into a romantic battlefield where love is bought, sold, and maybe just maybe rediscovered. As viewers, we're left asking, can a film made of almost pure dialogue still move the soul? And more importantly, should it? The film follows Lucy, played with an intelligent, slightly jaded charm by Dakota Johnson. Lucy is a matchmaker in Manhattan, one who sells romantic compatibility like high-end couture. Her clients, dripping in wealth and ambition, rely on her to find love that fits their lifestyles. And Lucy, she thrives in this material world. Or so it seems. She's currently dating Harry, a hedge fund billionaire portrayed by the effortlessly charming Pedro Pascal. He's well-dressed, smooth, and ready to buy happiness in installments. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, Lucy runs into her ex-boyfriend John, played by a delightfully rough-around-the-edges Chris Evans, who now waits tables at a restaurant below her luxurious apartment. The encounter sparks a triangle of desire, regret, and emotional excavation that forms the backbone of the story. But Materialists is not your typical rom-com. It's a talking picture in the truest sense, a film where dialogue isn't just a two-lits, the driving force. Song's screenplay is dense, articulate, and theatrical, pulling influence from her background in playwriting. In many scenes, characters don't just talk, they duel, their words layered with wit, longing, and psychological strategy. The film becomes a rhythmic dance of ideas and emotions, not always easy to follow but always enthralling. And let's talk about that dialogue. Reviewers have called it operatic, not in the sense of melodrama, but in the precision and emotional cadence of the spoken word. Every pause feels like punctuation in a larger emotional symphony. It's reminiscent of the great dialogue films of the past, think Nora Ephron's best work, or the sharper moments of a Woody Allen script. But there's something undeniably modern and fresh in the way Song constructs these interactions. They're stylish without being hollow, profound without being pretentious. What makes Materialists stand out is the way it captures the transactional nature of love in today's society. Lucy's work as a matchmaker isn't just a job, a metaphor. In a world obsessed with status, appearance, and curated perfection, love becomes another product to be sold. And Lucy, despite her polish and poise, is trapped in this consumerist web. She begins to question whether love should be something you strategize or something you feel without logic. Pedro Pascal's Harry is the personification of this question. He's wealthy, gentle, well-meaning, but emotionally sterile. His love is offered like a beautifully wrapped gift, but one that lacks surprise. Chris Evans' John, on the other hand, is chaotic, passionate, and messy. He represents an inconvenient kind of love, the kind you can't mold into something presentable. Their triangle isn't just romantic, it's symbolic. And Song isn't afraid to let that symbolism play out in long, intellectually charged exchanges that might leave casual viewers reaching for the remote, but will reward the patient and attentive. But then, halfway through the film, something happens that shatters the rhythm entirely. A subplot involving one of Lucy's clients, an unsettling sexual assault revelation, changes the tone dramatically. It's jarring, and critics have been divided. Some argue that the inclusion of such a serious storyline adds emotional weight and challenges the glibness of the earlier scenes. Others say it feels tacked on, a mere dramaturgical mechanism. In the words of The New Yorker, it's a sudden veer off the stylish highway into morally ambiguous terrain, and Song doesn't linger on it long enough to do it justice. Still, there's no denying that Materialists is a film of ambition. And ambition, even when flawed, is worth celebrating. Song isn't content to make something simple or palatable. She wants to push the form. She wants to see if a movie can hold our attention through cleverness alone. And in many moments, it absolutely does. The dialogue dances, the cinematography, by Xavier Kirshner, captures New York in both its intimate, romantic stillness and its cold, corporate detachment. It's a city of contrasts, just like Lucy's heart. The performances are, across the board, intriguing. Dakota Johnson brings a steely coolness to Lucy, a character that could easily fall into stereotype. She plays her with nuance, calculated, smart, but increasingly lost in her own emotional blueprint. Pedro Pascal is, as always, magnetic. But it's Chris Evans who might surprise the most. His John is rumpled, romantic, and tragic. He walks through scenes like a man carrying old ghosts, and you believe every second of his heartbreak. There's also a surprising, and perhaps controversial, subplot involving body modification. Harry, the billionaire boyfriend, reveals he underwent limb-lengthening surgery to appear taller, something Song uses to critique modern masculinity and the impossible standards even wealthy men are subjected to. It's a brilliant touch, unexpected, oddly moving, and somehow not played for laughs. Materialists may not be for everyone. Some viewers will find it too talky, too cerebral, too square. But for those who appreciate dialogue that sings, a love triangle that actually asks hard questions, and a filmmaker who dares to turn words into action, this is cinema at its most audacious. Song is still sharpening her voice, but she's already among the most interesting storytellers of her generation. As of mid-June, Materialists has pulled in over $15 million at the box office on a modest budget, making it one of a 2/4 stronger recent openings. Critics have given it mixed to positive reviews. Audiences, too, our split. Cinema score shows a solid B, with younger, urban viewers responding more favorably. Whether or not it becomes a cultural phenomenon like past lives, Materialists is already a conversation starter. And in 2025, where every frame is dissected on TikTok and every script moment becomes a meme, being talked about might be the best a film can hope for. What's next for Celine Song? Rumors suggest her next project might return to more intimate, emotionally restrained territory, perhaps a drama set outside the US, maybe even a Korean language film again. But for now, Materialists stands as proof that she isn't afraid to take risks, challenge audiences, and lean into discomfort. She's a filmmaker evolving in real time, and we're lucky to witness it. So what did you think of Materialists? Did the dialogue sparkle, or did it drag? Was the sudden tonal shift brave or unnecessary? And does Song's rom-com with teeth herald a new era of smart, adult storytelling? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Daily Gossip, your go-to source for the stories behind the stars, the screen, and the scenes.